1.4 billion Ghana cedis. When you add the two, you're looking at about 2.2 billion Ghana cedis of tax revenue being lost. Now, the question you ask yourself is, how would government be able to finance its activities if it is losing 2.2 billion Ghana cedis just on this front? Remember that petroleum receipts have also fallen. In the budget, we estimated that petroleum will sell, or a barrel of crude oil will be about $62. Now it's way underwater. So government is losing revenue from that side as well. And so the question you ask yourself is, how would government be able to meet its commitment? It is that sad, because if you look at even the 2020 budget, and it's good we give some of these estimates, government was saying that about 50.8% of its total tax revenue was going to pay salaries and wages. 48.2% of the tax revenue was going to pay interest on debt. So essentially, 99% of government revenue, tax revenue, was going to service only two line items.
That's right.
Today, government is saying, I'm going to lose 2.2 billion Ghana cedis. So government from day one wasn't even able to meet its target. Now it's even going to be worse. Now, my understanding is that whenever there's a pandemic, there's a shift in economic activity. That is, the effective or productive sectors of the economy tend to shift. So, for example, if you have a power crisis, you realize that people who import power generating sets, people who repair them, people who work along that particular industry tend to increase their profits and sales. And so, even though government may be losing revenue in other sectors, there are certain sectors that may be doing well. The question we should ask ourselves is that in the midst of this pandemic, which sectors of the economy are experiencing growth? Would it be the consumables? If it's the consumables such as those in the trading industry, the question is, do we have a system in place to get our fair share of taxes from them?
Well, on the issue of taxes, audit firm KPMG is, however, calling for tax incentives to be enhanced so industries have full benefit of the tax environment. Here's Senior Tax Manager Michael Boateng.
One of the things that you tend to see is that taxation is one of the most effective tools in creating an enabling environment for businesses. And you know, in KPMG, every year before our budget, national budget, we do a survey of key companies and just have a feel